Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Magnus Healy, who will be doing color commentary and running the board here tonight. As well as to my right, we have cameraman Wally Mitchell here, all in attendance for what I'm dubbing the Friar Bowl. St. Anthony JV Black against St. Anthony JV Gold, a battle of the two teams near the top of the standings in the JV division. Second and third place both respectively. As I'm now joined alongside by Magnus Healy. And Magnus, what can you tell us in preparation for this should be excellent hockey game?
Yeah, St. Anthony's kind of the Smithtown Hauppauge of this section. You know, they've got two teams respectively. They're both very talented teams. I know I probably shouldn't say that due to the rivalry that they have. It's a little sacrilegious, but St. Anthony's JV Black coming in at 9-1. The other side, St. Anthony's JV Gold 7-3. Bragging rights on either side, you could say. Now you look, St. Anthony's JV Gold coming off a win on the 24th of November, 5-2 over Longwood JV. And East Islip took a loss to St. Anthony's JV Black 7-1. So both teams can kind of, you know, St. Anthony's wants to bounce back if you're the JV Black team, and the Gold wants to keep their momentum going. It holds a little bit different of a weight. You know, you're going to see each other in school tomorrow. Get those bragging rights. You certainly want to walk away with a victory here today. So it's going to be a test for both of these teams. As similar as they are, how much different do they play? If that makes sense, kind of what styles will we see? What difference from the Gold to the Black team, and kind of how that affects, you know, certain aspects of this match?
Yeah, St. Anthony JV Black, the only team to hand Smithtown JV Red a loss this season, as they are 10-0 in regulation, but that loss coming by way of overtime to St. Anthony JV Black earlier this year. St. Anthony JV Gold, they are coming off, as you mentioned, that 5-2 win to Longwood. They did suffer a 3-0 defeat at the hands of that very Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red team. As some key players to look out for in this matchup tonight for Gold, and I will be referring to them as Gold, and this is also very important. The home team tonight is JV Gold. They will be in white. So gold, white, gold. JV Black, thank God, are going to be wearing black to my right.
Yes. Because
in the event JV Black was home, they would be wearing the white jerseys. So they did us a favor certainly a favor that one. And as for JV Black and their team, they have been off to a great start. They're led by Andrew Savalos as well as Lawler. It's really an up and down great lineup. As for JV Gold, Magnus, could you tell us anything more about JV Gold and some players to look out for?
Yeah, you've got Liam Becker. He leads the team with 7 goals on his end, respectively. Reeve Chero with 11 points. And Kenneth Engelhart. That's a name I've heard before on broadcast. I'm certain he'll make an impact. Leighton Veith with 10 goals. Anthony Catzone with 9. You go down the list, all of these guys have a ton of points. Both of these St. Anthony's teams can score. That is 100% a fact. It's going to be, I think tonight's a game where we'll see 1 or 2 goal difference.
I couldn't agree more, and it's again the depth of both St. A's, Smithtown Hauppauge. We just saw a fantastic game at the freshman level between Smithtown Hauppauge and East Islip, another one of those juggernaut forces that we see here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, where it just seems that from top to bottom on the team is not much separating these guys. And then when you have to split your JV team into 2 teams, and you could say that about both of those teams, it really speaks to just how many great hockey players are at your respective school or schools, and in this case, it's St. A's. And there's familiarity. They practice with each other. And so I'm wondering, Magnus, what do you expect the physicality to be in this game?
I think it's I would consider this a rivalry game because you've got, you know, the Black team might be better than Gold. So now you've got I didn't make the Black team, that kind of thing, that little bitterness that you might have as a player, some animosity towards, you know, an opponent. But it's nonetheless, you go to the same school, it's bragging rights. That's what this is.
Absolutely. Starting goaltenders tonight are Urso and Frankaitis. Urso for the black team and Frank Gaddis for the gold team as we're underway here in this first period of the Friar Bowl. Gold versus black JV. An early start here for gold wearing their white jerseys, black wearing the black, gaining entrance into the zone, sending a shot toward the net but wide, still in play. And now poke to the far corner, chipping in defensively. A nice little play made at the left point. That's number 92, Ty Shimkus, formerly of Middle Country, freshman a season ago. Engelhardt barrels his way through. Shimkus to play it in the far corner, absorbs a big hit. So we wondered if it would be physical or not. I'd say we're leaning toward physical.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. You see a hit that big that early with really nothing to show for it. You're less than 40 seconds into this game. Nobody's scored yet as Liam Healy. No. He's not related to me.
That was my question. That's why I pointed to his name.
I thought you were pointing to him because he was the one who took the hit.
No. Yeah, it was Shimkus. 2-on-1 chance, throws through the feet that time of Gold's Leighton Veith. I saw Healy, and I forget where it was. Here's Catazone playing it ahead off the stick of DeAndrea, and now gathered back in by Gold and carried up ice. Offsides, however, that was number 74, Gavin McCormick.
Yeah, quick up and down the ice for both sides. Gold has done a good job of, and I think I'll get a little confused on who's who, but Black has done a good job of staying in the slot, not allowing Gold to get anything from the perimeter down low, and kind of clearing it when it comes. Headed there on the first line by Captain Jack Hurlbert. He played a good job in the slot there early on.
Ensuing draw, Gold gained possession and send in, and doing the sending, Anthony Aspromonte. Back along, a chance here, breakaway chance, Becker a drive and a save made. A right pad save made by Urso, and now flipped up and caught by Christopher Urso. So early test there for the Friars netminder. Well, the Gold Friars netminder. Nope, that's incorrect. Black, freshman Black Friar. I don't know.
It's confusing. It's going to be a doozy.
It's going to be a doozy indeed. Doozy and Matuza to take the draw. Wins it back. Veith a shot off the rear end of Matuza. Fanning on a shot. Muller comes back to the right point, handled by Gasparic. Gasparic weaving his way in, had the puck knocked off his stick. A good defensive play made by JV Black's Pape. Puck pinned against the near boards, comes free, overskated by Muller. And a benefit, too, is none of these players have the same number, thank God.
Yeah.
So here's Veith. Over to Matuza. Sprung ahead to Muller, is in. Muller shot! A save made Urso. Rebound was going to careen right out in front. Played away neatly. Good defensive play by Cummings. Moved around to the opposite corner, Muller. Long shot deflected, punched away by the blocker of Urso. And out of the zone. Gasparic tracks back to it. Early, better play, I'd say, belonged to JV Black.
Yeah. Really good in the perimeter. Playing a little bit too quick. We've seen a few overskates here. Kind of getting a little bit ahead of themselves, but keep to themselves. They'll have opportunities in the slot.
Long shot from Veith. Pardon me. I have been making a mistake. It's come to my attention that the visiting JV Gold, they did do it. No, they did do it. JV Gold is wearing black. No. Wait.
No, you're right.
I'm right. No, I'm right.
No, you're...
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. Black's wearing white, I think, because they're home. Unless they're in the wrong...
Oh, man. Anyway, the names are right. The names are correct. Engelhardt has it here. And Engelhardt plays for Gold. Gold's wearing black. They have the wrong home team as the wrong home. That's what's happening. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think they're in the wrong...
Kevin, help me. Anyway, why am I doing this? Is so... Anyway, here is moved up the boards. Here's Hurlburt for Gold, wearing black. Sent across. Blocked away. Picked up by Coletti. I know the names are right.
Yeah. We've got it, folks. We've got
you know what I'm talking about. You're listening, you know who's who. Huge hit. Oh, my goodness. Reeve Chero blown up in the neutral zone. And I believe that was Liam Healy doing the wrecking. They play on, a chance out in front. And now skated to center. Moving in with it. Chance Savalos scores! Savalos sets up, I think, Darby for the goal. It's 1-0 JV Black. So 1-0 JV Black. They have the early lead. 1-0.
A good job from them. They have the opportunity in the slot. They see it through, and that's you take the opportunities you get. Good job from Darby there early on. Now you got to ride this momentum out for the remainder of this game. Continue to put pressure on Gold.
Darby from Savalos and JV Black wearing white take the early lead. Another big chance and a save made by Frankaitis. Shoveled down low, picked back up by Gold wearing black. Dangled on through. It's Gasparic. Try to work it on back to Monteleone. Gets by him, and here's Muller. Muller quickly pressured by Savalos. Moves back into the defensive zone for JV Black. And a chance to play out of the zone for McCormick. Scrum continues. Eventually, it's handled by Darby. Darby checked off the puck in the neutral zone by Gasparic. Allows Matuza to get to it. Matuza dangles as he enters the zone. Able to get to Hurlburt. Back to Matuza. Matuza to Gasparic. Gasparic, Monteleone. Good puck movement. Shot! Wide of the net. Gasparic spins away. Far boards. Gasparic. Griffin. Down low, shot toward the front of the net, sticked away by Urso. Another wrist shot, Monteleone denied with Morabito out in front. Adriana Morabito with the net front presence, the save nonetheless made by Urso.
Yeah, that's a good job if you're Gold. You just surrender a goal to Black early on, but now you've got the opportunity of putting pressure down low on Urso. Continue to do that, try to find something in the slot, and it'll fall through.
9:03 left, first period. Offensive zone draw for JV Gold, a shot goes wide. You know, I take back that compliment I gave them. I was like, oh, the schedule makers, they did a good job. They made sure JV Black would be the proper away or home. Nope. Anyway, here is Engelhart. Angles one around for Hurlburt. Past him, kept alive by Coletti. Shot blocked. And poked to the neutral zone. Quick reset as Schechter tried to usher it on further. Ryan Schechter gets another chance here. Just flips it into the zone. Taken back over by JV Black. Good stick check in the neutral zone. And Vaith fires a shot toward Urso, who makes the blocker save. Hurlburt poked around for Engelhart. Engelhart back to Hurlburt, near corner. JV Gold have had the better of the play thus far in this first period. They trail 1-0 to JV Black, who score on a rush opportunity. Goal scored by Darby, set up by Savalos. Leighton Vaith has it poked from him. Now Catazone carries out for Gold. Catazone eventually wills it on. Deek left in the slot. It's still loose, and no, it wouldn't go. No shot came toward Urso. DeAndrea spinning with it. Now Becker try to go back to DeAndrea. Rejected from in front. Good defensive posture. Gianluca Trezzara. As well as Camastro, it looked was out in front. Now on it is Ryan Palladino.
That was a great job in defense there. A huge threatening opportunity for St. Anthony's JV Gold, and a great job of staying stacked in the slot.
Reeve Chero in the far corner. Chero with one hand on his stick. Becker to the blue line. It's out of the zone, says Seltzer. The linesman skating over, making that call.
We look at that sequence earlier. Some great saves respectively from Urso. You've got good back checks coming in, just a really good job of persevering. He overskates it just a touch. And then as the St. Anthony's team is trying to bat it through, it eventually falls through and almost finds its way back into the slot. But a little over-anxious is Becker.
Here's Gasparic. Works his way over. Gasparic, now Matuza. Matuza backhanded toward Urso, who made the stop. Savalos with a check in the corner. In that far corner, they do battle. Now Gasparic out with it. Gasparic with his team trailing by one. Gasparic backhanding down the wall. Matuza looking to center Morabito. Read beautifully and taken away by Savalos. Andrew Savalos sends in, hoping to get it across to Lawler. And instead it's Vaith who takes over. Leighton Vaith over the lineup. And offside is the call as Vaith took a check from Lawler.
Yeah, good job in transition from Gold. They're playing, they skate very quickly backwards, and that's kind of the testament to their game here. You've got to just continue to find these opportunities, get it towards the slot, and they'll fall. You had that one earlier, rattled off of Orso's pad out in front. If Becker doesn't overskate that, you're looking at a possible 1-1 game.
Banked in by JV Black. Out in front, chance kicked away by Frankaitis into the far corner. Banked ahead and settled by Daniel Munch. Daniel Munch, formerly of KPC, played with the freshman group a season ago. Munch back to get it. He'll stop in behind his net. Try to make a play, ends up being a giveaway, and Engelhardt, the wraparound, comes right out back out in front. Now the other way, chance. Savalos shot. Gloved by Frankaitis, 5:07 left first period.
Yeah, Bunch there tried to get a little bit, what's the word?
A little too fancy.
Too fancy, there we go. Too fancy behind the net. Almost cost his team a goal that goes right through his legs.
Daniel, you're not Iggy Azalea. It's too much fanciness back there. 1-0. Face off to the right of Frankaitis. We'll do it all over again. In to take the draw, Alec Giacoppi for JV Black. And for Gold, it is Becker. And Becker taps out of the zone. Has Chero with him. Becker fakes the shot, tried the pass across. Excellent defensive positioning from Darby. Gasparic.
Yeah, good job from Darby staying stacked through the slot there, seeing it through.
Giacoppi shot wide. McCormick. Checked by Chero in the corner. Gasparic trying to clear. And eventually they do. And on back for Gasparic. Turned over. In come Black. Nice pass and just missed. It was Darby again. Giacoppi swung one on to Frankaitis, who makes the stick save. 4:10 to go first period. It's 1-0, the team wearing white jerseys. We'll move from DeAndrea, unsuccessful, turned back the other way, but a good stick to break it up that time by Gasparic. Here's Matuza. Matuza getting hounded by Trezara. Throws it toward the front of the net, and Urso there, as well as his defense to break it up. Not quite out of the zone. Muller holds in near point.
Yeah, that was a good job from Giacoppa. You had really good stick work from Matuza. He got around two defenders, but Giacoppa skated in there quickly with a good forecheck to shut that down.
Fired in on goal by McCormick. Steered to the far corner by Frankaitis. Losing possession is Camastro forechecking in said corner. Long wrist shot into the chest of Peter Frankaitis, who holds on. 3:12 left here, first period. In the Friar Bowl, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Be sure to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. Tons of great stuff happening on there. Curated by
podcast as well.
The Pod? Yeah, check out the Pod. Travis Quigley.
Wally Mitchell produces it, and you got Paul Trentini as well.
Yes, you do. All those guys. Some great guys, if I do say so myself.
What a wonderful crew.
Yeah, thank you. I think we do here. Kept in the zone for the moment. Trying to work his way down low is Aiden Pape. Instead, here comes Hurlburt. On the back end, Hurlburt swung out in front. Hit the skate of Palladino. Urso was alert there. Coletti toward the front of the net where it's cut off and now skated out by Ryan Welter. Welter weaving through the neutral zone, eventually lost it. Fired in, but offsides is called as Michael Rainey threw it in with 2:26 left here in the first.
Yeah, I'm seeing a good job. There was a good job from Hurlburt there. He used his right hand, and the other hand was on the stick, and he kind of tried to corral the defender's stick away from him, shot it through the slot. Unfortunately, no one was there to receive it and tap it in. But, again, opportunities are being seen here for gold.
Liam Healy using his strength and body positioning there. The puck on his backhand, protecting it. Now gets it back to the point. Pape across. Long shot from Munch, fought off by Frankaitis. Pape keeps the cycle moving. Back down low. Flipped. Perhaps trying to do a flip from behind the net to in front of the net, but only caught the rear end of said net. And then a collision between Chero and Munch generates an offsides with a $1:48 left here in the first period.
As much as we're seeing, obviously, Black with the lead thus far, it's really been more pressure coming from Gold on the offensive zone end. You've seen more opportunities through the slot, not as much work having to be done for Frankaitis. Obviously, that one goal allowed, but now you just need to, if you're Gold, look for power play opportunities, try to draw some penalties. Tripping are the easy ones to draw and get an opportunity on your end.
Chero goes for the check on Munch. Those two have been jawing at each other really from the opening whistle. Munch trying to chip it around DeAndrea. And now Pape. DeAndrea tried to poke it by him. Becker in the area as well. Savalos between his legs, rejected by Monteleone. Thrown in behind, Becker in after it. Poked along near side now as JV Black, wearing white, look to clear, and they do. Banked ahead to Savalos. Savalos check from behind from Matuza. Into the zone it goes. Munch on the forecheck. He's going to lay a hit. Back the other way. It's Gold with numbers. Shot blocked by Pape. So Aiden Pape, the big defensive play.
Yeah, it's a great job from Pape to get back, stay stacked, watch it through the slot. Not necessarily predict where it's going, but kind of have that anticipation on where your netminder is behind you as well.
Absolutely, as Pape goes far boards. Taken away here by Engelhart. Engelhart trying to march through that sea of white. Flipped on. You're in the neutral zone area. Banked back in. It'll be an icing. So on the wrong side of the red line was Catazone. And so the faceoff will come in deep to the right of Frankaitis. With 22.3 seconds left in this first period, listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here and only on LI Sports Network.
If you're Gold, get yourself to the second period here, slow things down, and try to look for an opportunity here in the second period.
To the line and out. Past Ty Shimkus, who will receive this from his netminder Urso, who has been fabulous in the first 15 minutes of this hockey game. thrown around for Darby. Darby hounded by Muller on the forecheck to close out period number 1. It is St. Anthony JV Black wearing white with the 1-0 lead. A goal from Patrick Darby. And Darby, his 4th of the year, with the assist from Savalos, the difference so far in period number 1. Welcome back to the Rinks and Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Magnus Healy. To my right, Wally Mitchell on the cam. 1-0 St. Anthony JV Black over St. Anthony JV Gold. Gold wearing black, black wearing white. Making heads of tails of everything. Magnus, what do you think of that first period?
Back and forth. You have the one opportunity fall for Black and Patrick Darby's lone score. It's been close nonetheless. Gold on their own end has had opportunities.
There's Schechter with that chance. Good look for Ryan Schechter. Wraparound try. And another, that puck's still loose. Flung just wide, so Gold still keeping up the momentum they left off with as they, again, as you mentioned, had the better of the chances, but it was a rush the other way, the difference. Here's a rush here. And a chance for Giacoppi, and a save made by Frankaitis. Engelhardt pushed it ahead, but committed to the back skate was Captain Hurlburt. Hurlburt will pick it up here. Hurlburt in behind. Urso, bang to the blue line, held in by DeAndrea. Back with Hurlburt, a shot never got through. Blocked by Shimkus. Engelhardt. Left it for Hurlburt, who sends in behind Urso, picked up by Darby. As you mentioned, Magnus, the lone goal scorer back in period number 1.
When you talk about things like athleticism playing such a role, when you have guys in high school who play multiple sports, a guy like Jack Hurlburt is actually one of the better receivers in his class. So that athleticism translates over to the ice as well.
Fascinating. We saw the Blackhawks take a player in the first round of this most recent draft who played in the Minnesota High School Championship game as well. I'm blanking on his name, but I forget which position he played either, but nice little tidbit there from you, Magnus. Yeah, that is the multi-sport athlete. Obviously, St. Anthony also a lacrosse powerhouse, and there's a lot of crossover between lacrosse and hockey as well. Not sure if we have any laxers on the ice here tonight. Good reminder that LILJ gets started. I'm sure we're all excited for that. The Winter League at Stony Brook will be streamed right here on LI Sports Network as Trezera traverses the neutral zone, sends in. Picked up in behind by Monteleone, avoids a check. Dished out by Camastro and on for Becker. Becker, Liam. Near circle, spinning out of trouble. Back for Monteleone. Held in once more for Monteleone. Now back down low to Becker. Becker, not a lot of time. Knocked off his stick. Good defensive play made by number 86, Gianluca Trezera. Has it in the near corner, Trezera. We get it over to Camastro. Monteleone and Trezera continue their bout as it's handed off to Engelhardt. Ahead for Matuza. Matuza toward the goal. Engelhardt left all behind and is lonesome. Wrist shot, kicked away. Right on the thing. Oh, what a save by Urso. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Athleticism at its finest, post to post. That was incredible.
Just committed larceny out on the ice, did Urso, and we play on. No whistle. Matuza. Sharp angle try. Shrugged off by Urso.
Speaking of Urso, that sequence was incredible. You have Engelhardt wrapping it around. Dishes it to the top there for Montello, who just a wrister straight towards him, pads it wide, and it finds the stick right away of another JV Gold member, and he's on his back, still making saves. That is incredible.
That was Matuza, and a chance shot save, rebound loose, still loose, as Engelhardt turned aside by Urso. That allows Savalos, caught from behind by Vaith. Great recovery for the Gold defender, Leighton Vaith, as offsides brings play to a halt. But Urso, you can easily say, has been the difference thus far in the game, Magnus.
Yes, certainly. That phenomenal sequence there, yet to allow a goal, despite the pressure that Gold is putting on him today. Is staying composed, and you know what the difficult thing is, the amount of traffic that you'll get through the slot. It makes it difficult as a goaltender to stick with the puck, but Urso's done a great job.
Liam Healy carries in for JV Black. Going to work on Vaith. Coletti springs on over in the feet of Hurlbert, who flips it into center ice. Lifted ahead, it's caught in the skates of Liam Healy. And now Healy emerges back with it. Healy, head up, head full of steam into the O-zone, around the defender. Healy around the net, wraparound try, won't go. Flung to the point, held in by Aiden Pape. In behind, a one-time chance, a quick tic-tac-toe play. Set up for Healy in front, he missed. Savalos chases after, and Savalos going to work on Coletti. Coletti. Now Savalos, after Coletti slid down. Backhands out in front. They wave it off. No goal. No goal, says the official, as Lawler stuffed it in. And it's no goal because the net was oh so slightly dislodged.
That is a good break for Gold. Unfortunate on the other end for Black. You look at the chance to extend your lead to 2. A game of inches. Inches.
I was like, oh, is it goalie interference? Is it delayed penalty that it just happened? No, none of those things. It was, well, they got to do it. They got to call it, I suppose. Monteleone intercepted McCormick, flings one wide of Frank Cadis. Psychologically, I always wondered, if you're a goaltender, you allow a goal that's disallowed. Does that feel like you made the save, or does it still feel like you allowed the goal?
I think you allowed it. I think he knows, Frank Cadis himself knows, that there was a little bit of a break on his end.
Either way, you must push forward. Here's Catazone. Backhanding it around, I should say. Monteleone, a little dangle before shifting it across, and that's a tough timing play to get into the zone, and they did not time it right. Offsides is the call. With 9:11 left here, second period, 1-0. The team in white over the team in black. Team in white represented by JV Black, of course. And you're listening here to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Be sure to follow on social media at LI Sports Network as Chero with a little flyby to Urso, who made the save.
Yeah, but you saw the entire first period, to me up here, it seemed that St. Anthony's JV Gold was putting a lot of the pressure on Urso. And I had thought that eventually you'd have an opportunity that would slide through the slot and get in. And now you're seeing kind of a flipped script here. St. Anthony's JV Black is now the ones heading most of the pressure now on Frankatis.
Matuza, 50-50 draw with Giacopi. He's on out for Gasparic. Gasparic down the near wall. Picked up McCormick. McCormick to Giacopi. Giacopi chases after. Near circle, flipped toward the front of the net. A nice back-checking play by Muller. Steers it away from McCormick. Muller to Matuza. Matuza weaving. Carries in. Has Morabito behind him. Matuza on the backhand. Try to sweep it out in front. Off the side of the net. And away come JV Black. McCormick dumps in. Chasing after it. His teammate Espremonti. Muller has a go at it. Here's Matuza to Vaith. Vaith checked there by Trezera. Centering pass intercepted, and away come JV Black. It's Darby. Darby. Gasparic taking the body on Darby. Darby, another shove from Gasparic. Here is Hurlbert. Try to lead Matuza, and it's Trezera who comes out with it. Trezera battling Matuza. Matuza takes it away. Matuza diving effort. Urso. It's loose. Another skipped over the stick. Big opportunity for Gold. Ends up in nothing.
Urso just continues to wow me the entire night. Acrobatic save after acrobatic save.
So that's one wow from Magnus from Urso. See how many we get by the end of the night. Here's... Well, he continues to wow. So is that 2 wows?
I think that's 2 wows on the night.
At least 2 wows on the night for Magnus. 7:14 left, second period.
I would say over under 4 wows. I think is
4 wows. That's what we're putting it at.
4 wows. Yeah.
All right, 4 wows.
No, but they're getting opportunities. Are Gold, and they're seeing less than they did in the first period. But it's the ability to stack in the box. The guy like Cummings, he's doing a very good job of staying low, staying near his goalkeeper in Urso, and obviously Urso's doing a lot of the brunt work there and just making the saves in general.
Sent around. Palladino trying to pinch. A great lead pass. Springs forward. Hurlbert, the drive, and a save made by Urso.
No wow. No wow.
Okay.
I know you were looking for it, but
I don't know. And it's a breakaway stop on one of the better scorers for JV Gold, that being Hurlbert. Hurlbert on the air, 6 goals in 8 games played. It's tied for second on the team lead. It is Liam Becker who does lead the Friars in goals for JV Gold. Engelhart tangled up with Palladino, banks ahead for Lawler. Lawler's pass in the skates of Savalos, who will catch back up with it off the ricochet. Challenged from behind by Schechter. Savalos eventually popped around, lost control of the puck, flipped to the neutral zone by Schechter, and a foot race is upon us. And it's going to be won, and getting body position, Engelhart could not catch back up with the puck. Engelhart stays with it. Stuff in try, no. Another stuff in try, but no turkey is goaltender Chris Urso.
I like the Thanksgiving reference. I like it.
Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving,
yes.
all of you listening. 6:23 left, second period.
Yeah, but now you're starting to see the pressure build back up on the end of Gold, putting more pressure on Urso. And you see on the side of Gold, they're frustrated. Their hands are in the air. They're like, what can't we get past this guy? He's a brick wall from post to post.
Flipped off the glass, not quite out of the zone. Taking a big hit to keep it in, Monteleone. Great play, but nonetheless, Friars come out, and them being the Black Friars, a shot glove save made Frankatis off the stick of Savalos.
So 6:07. You only got a 1-0 lead, so this is it's anyone's game at this point. You're 1 goal from making this a 0-0 game, as we have 6 minutes and 7 seconds, 6-7 for those people who understand that, I guess. I don't get it. I don't.
You're part of the youth that helped create it, Magnus, I must say. I'm surprised it's lasted as more older and older people make and understand the joke. Usually that is its death, and it has not died.
They're persistent.
It really has.
Is this like one of the longer lasting memes? It's gotta be up there.
It's definitely up there. As Gasparic pulls the puck out from behind, takes a check from Giacoppi. That might be a penalty on Giacoppi. You could argue interference. Who is he pointing at? Who's the penalty against here? No, it's definitely not going to be against Giacoppi, that's for sure, because Gasparic's going to the box.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see if your goal, just the opportunities that you were hoping to get on power play, you serve now your own.
So with a 1-0 lead, St. Anthony JV Black at a turn on the power play. Gasparic off to the box for, well, still waiting to find out the official call. It'll be roughing against Gasparic. So a power play chance here goes to the Friars. The JV Black Friars, who average .1 power play goals a game, as do JV Gold.
Yeah, I think that's that alone. It's about as even as a matchup as you could get. Both of these teams play similar styles. I'm assuming the coaches have spoken. They kind of have these similar ideas of what they want to do both on offense and defense, and it's kind of showing. It's kind of like Gold knows exactly what to do on offense, but the problem is Black knows exactly what to do on defense. Like, it's really, there are no opportunities being seen forth for Gold.
There's Lawler in the far corner on the power play, which has already over 30 seconds gone by on it. And another clear for JV Gold. All the way down, Daniel Munch to play it. Swings it around all the way through and onto the stick of Leighton Veith. Across to Coletti. Gathers and fires it right back down. Already a minute gone by on the power play. So far, so good on the kill for JV Gold. Liam Healy trying to change that narrative. Moves in and a save made from a sharp angle by Frankaitis. And cleared to center once again by Coletti.
Yeah, it's a good, important job from Frankaitis there to keep it in play, not stop it, continue to try to have a successful penalty kill, which they are so far.
Daniel Munch putting the moves on, trying to will it into the offensive zone. Hounded from behind by Muller. Goes to work now on Veith. Excellent poke from Veith. Fired to the line. Held in by Savalos, who swings away from run. Spins away from another. Takes the sharp angle shot. Save made Frankaitis. Rebound stopped Munch as well. Munch in it on the far corner for Healy. Wrister from Healy. Hits the glass in behind Frankaitis. 7 seconds to go on the power play. Puck comes free, and Veith clears. Back to five aside, Daniel Munch gathers speed around his goal. Now through the neutral zone, Munch. On the backhand, it is Munch. Trying to split the D, and a good defensive play made by Veith. Hits the backside of Savalos. A couple times, actually. Sprung ahead, though. Here it's Matuza. Matuza to the backhand. Matuza shot. Save made or so.
Wow.
All right. I think I'm going to take the over. Anyway, here is Muller. Lost the handle and out of the zone. Lawler will fire in from neutral ice on goal. Save made Frankaitis. Picked up by Catazone. Catazone. Near side. Right wing side. Fires. Sharp angle. Denied by Urso. Schechter in on the forecheck. Lays a hit on Trezera. Trezera in behind, avoiding the forecheck of Hurlbert. Flips one to neutral ice. Taken away, however, by Chero, who lost it, though, to Darby. Puck available up for grabs. Slipped into the O-zone. Engelhart chases after it. Trezera in after him. To the line, Monteleone gathers, looking for a deflection. Missed the stick of Chero. Right back out across. And a great stick check provided by Trezera. You could argue it saved a goal.
Yeah, good job in the slot there. Being aware of where that puck's coming from and making the job for Urso that much easier.
Darby unable to penetrate. That shot goes high and wide. A rebound, sprawling save from Frankaitis.
Wow.
Back the other way, go JV Gold. Flipped across, hoping for Chero. Knocked down defensively by Darby. Near point held in by Catazone. Engelhardt with it. And he'll send it into the far corner. Rolls in behind Urso. We've got ourselves an old-fashioned goaltending duel in the Friar Bowl 2025. Carried in behind. Backhand shot. No. Doesn't come. Comes out of the zone, as a matter of fact. And now an offside signaled by Mr. Seltzer.
I will say, Urso has had phenomenal saves of his own, but that save there was the best one of the night, by far. Sprawling out, backhand on his back, just a phenomenal job on his end. Frankaitis does a phenomenal job of staying level. That was a great save.
The flexibility required to do such an act I do not possess, or nor have I ever possessed in my life, or ever will, for that matter. As Frankaitis channeled his inner slinky. And meanwhile, here, carrying up ice, putting the moves on, it's Becker. Becker hits the brakes in the near corners, puts one out in front, they score! It's Matuza on a great feed from Liam Becker. We're tied at 1.
Opportunities, and the Gold team gets one finally. You've got Becker stopped short. Really good job. Looking for something. He's got stick checks from both ends. He's cornered. He finally finds someone in the slot in Matuza and hammers it home to tie this one up at 1.
Matuza angling the stick just right. He had the trigonometry set perfectly on that one. And it followed a fantastic save from Frankaitis. Frankaitis doesn't make that save. It's no longer a tie game night now. It's a different timeline altogether, but assuming all things the same, they'd still be down by 1. Sharp angle try, denied by Frankaitis. Also, you got to think back to that fortunate break as well, Magnus, where the goal was knocked off its moorings ever so slightly.
Without that, you're looking at a 3-0 ball game.
You certainly are. Potentially so. Gasparic thwarted from zone entry. Back for Liam Healy. Had it come off his stick and flung down ice. Hit a stick of JV Black wearing white, so they will carry it in. Turnover, chance. Now Vaith with it. Far point, wrist shot on, save made, rebound, outstretched Matuza as time expires. Here in the second, that flew by. Wow, that second flew by. Tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, that was a great job from the Gold. I told you that the opportunities would eventually see themselves through in the slot, and they finally get it there. Becker does a great job. He's pinned in at the corner, able to evade 3 of the St. Anthony's Black defenders, and then you're able to fling it through the slot for Matuza, who puts it through in a very tight window against a very good goalie in Urso.
Matuza, his 5th of the season, ties the game at 1. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Branigan, Magnus Healy will be back for the 3rd period in just here and only on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to the Rinks and Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Branigan, Magnus Healy, cameraman Wally Mitchell. Quick reminder, check us out on socials at LI Sports Network, but also check out the podcast. Travis Quigley, Paul Trentini, produced by Wally Mitchell. right here on LI Sports Network. They're about 8 episodes in, Wally. 8? Yeah, says Wally. You can watch all 8 on the channel, LI Sports Network. As for this game, it's been a fantastic one, as we were just talking about off air. 1-1. Highly entertaining game. Both goaltenders showing off their stuff as we're set for what could be the deciding period. And a quick 2-on-1. Healy across, save, Frankatis, scramble on. Where's the puck? It's underneath him.
Wow. So now Frankatis has my wows.
Oh, boy.
That was a great job. I mean, he's pressured. You've got Healy, who is not an easy stick to defend. You've got a 2-on-1, and that's a great job on defense as well. I like that tactic. Sprawl out. You cover more ground as well. It's a good job on that, I believe. That was Schechter. That's just a really good job on defense if you're gold.
Off the ensuing faceoff to the right of Frankatis. Save made, hugging the post. Comes back down low for Healy. Healy. Put it out in front. Thrown on ice. Taken by Shimkus. Shimkus. Near boards, handled by Darby. Darby. Moved in behind the net, centered one. And ultimately ricochet to Engelhart, who angles it out of the zone. It will bank down and become an icing against JV Gold. So offensive zone faceoff coming for JV Black.
The opportunities on both ends. JV Black has not had their fair share towards the end of that second period. A really good job if you're gold. You're going to capitalize and build on that momentum. That's a great job from Frankatis earlier in this third period. You have a 2-on-1. Great job on defense from Schechter as well. Sprawl out on all fours. Figures you might as well cover the most amount of ground on possibly a centering bid in the slot.
Ensuing draw was on the stick of Giacopi, eventually banked to center by D'Andrea. No icing this time on the stick of Aspromonte. Moved ahead and now across to Giacopi. Giacopi laying a hit on Chero. Seam pass connects to Gasparic in the defensive end. Griffin Gasparic establishes the O-zone, dumping in. And hit from Chero. Backhand shot out front from Shimkus, still loose. They whack at it, and finally the whistle comes. Urso's got it. And a little friendly shoving, I think, there from McCormick and Chero after the whistle.
Yeah, it was a great job from Urso. He had a little bit of a touch and assist and help on the back end from Shimkus. Shimkus basically told him where the puck was, because I don't think Urso was aware that it was by his skate. So just that little bit of, hey, here's where it is. Let's make sure that doesn't get in. And good team effort there.
Ensuing draw, won by JV Gold. Swept into the far corner by Monteleone. Pinching in Gasparic, helping and support Morabito. Keeps it alive in the zone. Long shot, Gasparic wide. Picked up near side. Matuza with Muller. Backhand shot. Matuza skies over the net. Gasparic pinching in. Shrugs off Palladino. Moves it in behind Matuza. Centers one, no one home. And in the skate of Aspromonte, gave it away. Now Muller on the backhand, sent across Matuza. Ricocheted off his end of his skate. Matuza prevails, chops it into the corner. Backhanded out in front. Morabito on the doorstep, turned aside by Urso. In behind now. Great forecheck from this line for JV Gold. Tons of O-zone time. Monteleone keeping it there. Finally, Aspromonte banks to center, and he'll go for a change, as will the rest of his teammates, ensuring that's a safe mission. And throwing it on goal was Giacopi, and I expect him to join his teammates on the bench now.
It gives you an opportunity for either side to kind of get new guys on the ice, refresh yourselves. Obviously, it's been really quick, both up and down this ice. You haven't really had a lot of downtime. Eventually, something's going to fall, whether it's now or whether it's with 30 seconds left in the third period. It's just a matter of getting guys in the right spot at the right time, putting the puck on net.
Getting crunched into the boards. It did not seem all that intentional. Seemed a bit more of the unfortunate end of boarding.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time.
As Schechter kind of peeled off at the last moment to face the boards. And putting the shoulder in was Camastro. It'll be a penalty against Camastro.
Yeah, if you're Gold here, this is it. This is your time. You have 11:57 to go in this third period. A bigger stick and a bigger body in Camastro is off the ice now. Put all your guys out there. You see Herbert's out there. Get him near the slot. You know, he's their second best goal scorer, second to Beck. So you just got to create these fine opportunities. Make sure the right guys are in the right spot.
Yeah, second leading scorer to Liam Becker, as you mentioned. Faceoff came out of the zone. It is Hurlburt out there with Engelhart. Catazone on defense with Vaith and Schechter. They're trying to get it to Schechter. It's intercepted. Carried down the far wall by Shimkus. Shimkus kicks it back toward the point area. Munch on it. Munch shielding the puck away from some oncoming Gold attackers. Now away from Catazone. Munch in the corner. Great penalty killing here from Daniel Munch. Munch still with the puck as his stick lifted by Catazone. Flipped up the near side. That's where Shimkus pinches in. And we've had nearly 50 seconds, now have 50 seconds gone by on this power play for JV Gold, and they've spent most of it not in the zone. Catazone trying to change that. Wrists it over the net. Vaith kept it in, only for a moment. Shimkus sends it out of the zone, only as far as the lineman's gate, where it's picked up and moved out now here by Savalos. Great killing, though, here for JV Black.
Yeah, nothing showing for Gold. Nothing really getting going on their end. It's been a great job for Black, led by Munch, who kind of just is playing keep away at its finest.
Great aggression here, forechecking provided by Liam Healy. Finally, puck comes free. Here's Engelhart, 2-on-2 over the blue. Lost it trying to go around Munch. Picked up by Shimkus. Sent back behind and fired the length of the ice.
An opportunity now. They're off the line change. A little bit of confusion. Get it down the ice.
Just 7 seconds remaining on the power play. Shot blocked. I'm not sure there's been a single shot toward Urso on this power play for JV Gold as Gasparic holds in. Gasparic allowing the touch up, moves in onside, but the puck sent across, hit a few sticks. More sticks as it's finally possessed here by Chero. We're back to 5 aside. Reeve Chero and Trezera together in the near corner. Picked up by Hurlburt. Hurlburt, sharp angle try, denied by Urso. And a stoppage with 9:20. Why is the clock running?
No, we stopped it. There we go. Yeah. Would have been 9:28. Oh, that's what I had on my end. But 9:26 we'll call it.
And I wasn't talking about your clock, by the way. I was the one at the rinks here.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
You got me. Magnus got me.
Of course. Play-by-play color connection.
There you go.
Oh.
Magnus with his Chaminade attire tonight. Is that the baseball shirt?
It is indeed. I got to make sure I don't run into any Friars outside that rivalry. We don't have the hockey rivalry. Chaminade doesn't play in the same league as St. Anthony's, but
that they do not. St. Anthony represented here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Chaminade not represented in the New York Islanders High School Hockey League, I don't believe. I'll have to double check that. I'm pretty sure they don't. They may play in the...
They're in the Catholic League.
The Catholic, right,
yeah.
with St. John.
Yeah, and St. Mary's and of those likes.
Matuza dumps in. Controlled by Darby. Does clear the zone here. Darby stick handling through. Now Trezera, but a whistle and offsides called. 8:33 left, third period. We're tied up at 1 between the two St. Anthony JV teams. The Friar Bowl.
And what was initially a confusing Friar Bowl, we figured it out. We've got our stuff here.
Yeah, we've got it squared away. Yep. The matchmaker did not like me, is what he decided, making JV black wear white and making JV gold wear black. The JV gold wearing black is not too big of a deal, but when you could have went with JV black and JV white. You didn't have to name one of them gold.
And then not have a gold uniform.
Right. And then you make sure that they're properly placed at home and away when they play each other. But
I think they said, you know what, we're going to make the broadcasters' lives difficult. That's what we're going to do.
Really making us work for what we've got as Vaith takes it in behind. Leighton Vaith swung around for Schechter, poked off his stick, picked back up by Vaith. Vaith leading, pass ahead to Engelhardt. Engelhardt too far for Schechter. Scooped up by Palladino. Back on the stick of Hurlburt now. Hurlburt and Palladino together. Good stick from Palladino. Schechter comes over. Swings around, keeps the forecheck going here for JV Gold and Engelhardt. Greeted in the corner. Getting a play on it was Michael Rainey. Rainey now is beat to the puck by Hurlburt. Hurlburt on the back end, slid it out in front. Off a skate, nobody home though for Gold. Thrown back out in front again. That was the stick of Palladino that it's always nervous as a defenseman. You don't want to deflect it toward the net and put it in yourself. As Vaith has it. Vaith surviving the forecheck of two JV Gold Friars, comes away with it. Sends it to Hurlburt. Hurlburt, far circle for Vaith. Another chance, and Urso pounces on the loose puck in the paint.
I like that sequence from Gold. I like the control that Vaith had on the puck in his own defensive zone. He was maneuvering it around his own net comfortably, able to see the opportunity to Hurlburt, who gets down the ice quickly, and they have the opportunity through the slot. It's just unfortunate that Black gets back on defense that easily and that quickly, but continue that up, and I think we'll see a goal here.
Pucks toward the net, always a good strategy. Faceoff was won by Chero, but ultimately lost control. Here is Chero, shot wide. Monteleone pinching in. And now loose puck, Healy, 2-on-1, 3-on-1 with Savalos, and he took the shot. A save made Frankaitis. Had Lawler and Savalos. Here is Lawler. Flips in. Little dump and chase from Lawler. Shoved into the boards. One-time shot swung on and missed by Savalos. And sent the other way by JV Gold.
It gives you a chance to get fresh bodies. You just had a really long sequence and a quick one at that. Get new guys on the ice. Give your good guys and your top guys a chance to refresh as we go for a little 5-minute push following this.
Savalos backhands it to the point. Shimkus drags, fires, and a right pad stop from Frankaitis. Try to spring forward. Becker, and he ultimately is thwarted by the combined efforts of Munch and Shimkus. Daniel Munch, pass blocked. And now Munch sends Matuza to the ice. Lawler wraps it around the boards. Catazone fanned on it. And shoved back into the neutral zone. Darby fires it right back in. Nice little dangle in behind, but a good stick of Healy. Broke it up. Savalos. Lawler's shot. That went wide. Shimkus hustles to keep it in on the far point. Got by the stick of Morabito. Centering feed. Here's Darby. Wrist shot blocked. Darby again. Backhand shot. He scores! With 5:03 left in the third, Darby's second has given St. Anthony JV Black the 1-goal lead.
Wow, that was a phenomenal sequence. Putting the pressure on, Darby's got it at the point, flings it through, rebounds it, stays with it. That's not an easy shot. You are contested in the slot there. You've got a lot of defenders, and then you have this small margin to the left of Frankaitis that he just slots it through.
Excellent concentration displayed. by Patrick Darby, who is only making his 6th game played. This is just his 6th game played. He has 7 points coming in. Now 2 goals added on top of it for the Friar defenseman. He has been outstanding here tonight and has given his team the 2-1 lead. Can they hold it? That is the question. Aspromonte, met by Engelhardt, backhands it into the gold end of the ice. Quickly moved to Gasparic. Gasparic dangling through. Now it's Engelhardt. Shot sticked away by Urso. Fired into the opposite corner where it's settled down by Welter. Picked back up by Darby. Darby on the backhand. Swept toward the front of the net. Frankaitis there to make the save. Engelhardt lost it. Welter sandwiched in between 2 gold Friars. Lost a handle of it. Now on back for Trezera. Gave it away to Engelhardt. Engelhardt. Pass across. No! What happened? Faith with a one-time shot out in front. Was that saved by Urso?
It hit off of Vaith's skate.
Oh, my goodness.
He whiffed on it, yeah.
Nightmare fuel for Vaith as Gasparic brings it back along. 3-on-3 over the blue. Dropped it in behind. Trezera had the initial nightmare, Magnus, as he had that egregious giveaway.
Got lucky.
Bailed out indeed. Shot from Becker deflected over the net. Munch carries in. Looking to take a bite of the defense as he has all night. Checked into the boards. Another collision as that's rolled on to Frankaitis, who will let it. He wanted a whistle. Fired off the glass, not out. We play on. Another big hit. This time dished out by Camastro, who chases after, and Camastro to the net. Can't get a shot through. It's Darby from Healy and Lawler, our most recent goal. Liam Healy, no relation to our Magnus, as I established earlier.
Playing well, though, he is. Maybe it's the Healy name.
Oh, I might have to check the ancestry or something. Here's Catazone! Had some room on that glove side high. Just missed his mark. Catazone will get another chance here. Near circle, left wing side, a shot. Partially inhibited by some good defense provided by Daniel Munch. Munch, another collision with Rivchero. Away comes Liam Healy, 1-on-2. Now joined by a teammate for a 2-on-2. It's Trezera. And that shot kicked away by Frankaitis. Rebound save made Frankaitis with 1:50 left in regulation time.
You give yourselves a break. That's a good job there. They're peppering shots at you left and right, especially through traffic like that. I think we see a timeout from St. Anthony's here. I believe we do. So from the St. Anthony's gold team, we will see a timeout. So now it's you look at it, you've got 1:50. Do you think they go empty net here?
I think you've got to clear it first. Yeah. I mean, you got a defensive zone draw, and that could be the discussion is let's get the puck toward Urso before this gets too out of reach here, the 1:50 left.
Yeah. Because you're having these opportunities. I'm impressed with how well Urso has played. He's gotten wows, but he's post to post. There's no room for them to get anything through. And then at that, I think they're playing with a little bit more of a quicker pace since they let up that goal. A little bit of a desperation kind of feel that I'm getting from them. I'm seeing prior to the goal, they were playing a little bit more relaxed and complacent with where they were at in the game as to where they are now.
Couldn't agree more. The Friars varsity team will be in action in about 40 minutes from now on the North Rink. Kevin Broderick on the call with Panasonic Paul on the cam for that one. We got a JV matchup following this one here on the South Rink, Northport and West Islip. And currently on the North Rink, huge upset in the works as Connecticut Sayville at 4-7 lead 9-2 East Islip 2-0 in a game currently being called by the aforementioned Kevin Broderick. 2-1 here in this one. In the Friar Bowl, it's JV Black, the 1-goal lead. Can they hold on to it? Gasparic played around. Monteleone, they've got to get Frankaitis an opportunity to exit his net. They're looking for one. They're not going to get one quite yet. As Shimkus pinches up, that puck flung ahead, and it will not be enough for any kind of an icing there. Frankaitis, he makes his march to the bench. Extra attacker is out for JV Gold, and that extra attacker is Leighton Vaith in particular. Gasparic, Vaith, Catazone, Muller, as there's just a rugby battle, rugby scrum in the corner. Eventually comes free. Muller swept toward the front of the net. Vaith drops it in behind, hoping for Matuza. Collected, but not cleared by Liam Healy. Here's Matuza as a man falls down. Matuza couldn't get a shot.
Patrick Darby. Wow. He's playing a second goalkeeper out there in the slot. Saved 2 goals. That was a great job on defense from Darby. Making the job that is already difficult for Urso that much more easy. Now you've got 52 seconds. You're putting pressure, just you've got to let some fly towards the net and just keep it in arm's reach. Don't let anything get out of hand or towards the net, because then at that point the game's over.
Matuza to take the all-important face-off. He'll take it from Liam Healy. Liam Healy wins it defensively. Munch first on it. Flings it up the near boards. Handled now by Liam Healy. Healy poked away by Catazone before he could get a shot toward the empty net, but Healy tracking back to it. Now Munch. Munch in behind. Trying to avoid the forecheck of Matuza. Fires it far boards, and it gets by Catazone. Gasparic there to rescue it. Gasparic turned over, backhanded just wide by Savalos, who looks to the heavens, but the heavens don't have an answer. Put back out, it's Reeve Chero.
Dangerous.
St. Anthony does not grant you a goal. As Vaith has it here, turned over Vaith. Swept it across and couldn't get on the stick of Muller. Not quite out. Savalos, does he have another chance? He does. It's also wide as time expires. He'll take the win instead for JV Black as they take it 2-1 over JV Gold in the Friar Bowl.
That was a phenomenal game. Darby, goal, followed by some penalties. Matuza ties it up. And then once again, you see Darby, 2 goals on the night. I would give player of the game. It's either between him or Urso. And I think I'd have to give the nod to Urso. I would, honestly. As well as Darby played both on offense and defense, Urso had some phenomenal saves on his
Urso, absolutely a Branny Biggin recipient as, we're bringing it back. Ahead of the All-Star game to come for the varsity side of things. JV All-Star game will carry on as
27th, I believe.
Yes, on 27th. That's correct. Yeah. And obviously, the varsity show, it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
My team, the Brandy's Biggins, looking to make an impact and be doing some scouting later.
Yeah, it was a good matchup on there and really, really well matched. To the end, there was pressure from both sides. Really well
great game. Outstanding game. The Friar Bowl didn't disappoint. And as expected, a bunch of players from either side talking with one another in seemingly friendly fashion. And
Did you do the homework?
Yeah. Yo, what we got that quiz answer? Yeah. Magnus knows. I'm so glad I'm done with that life. Anyway, we've come to an end here of our coverage of this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. On behalf of Magnus Healy to my left and Wally Mitchell to my right, I am Ryan Brannigan saying so long. Until next time, as always, have a good night.